Hello, my name is Keith Wynn, and I'm the incident commander on the west side and of Greenbrier Mobile Home Park. And what I'm trying to do is recruit more people to be block leaders. Now, what a block leader does is we're trying to have them triage only at the time of a catastrophe like an earthquake or a fire. What we would need for each block leader is as if you lived over here. This is a map of the west side. If you lived over here, you would be in control of triaging, and what that means is you would be looking for anyone that needs help within a few blocks. And what I've done here on this map for previous block leaders is I have it in different colors. Suppose like person named Smith is a block leader, and he's all the way on the other end, the extreme west side of Greenbrier, and he lives right here. I happen to live right over here in the middle. Well, this person, Smith, he would be in charge of 2 or 3 blocks, and he would get to know his neighbors. He would be knocking on their door like on his own time and see who might need help. And so he can find out if someone is disabled enough that they can't get to the door. So at least he has a track of who needs the help, and he would write down those names and those addresses so that we can help them if we have a fire or an earthquake. So what will happen is if there's, let's say, an earthquake, what we will do is we will triage or make sure everything is safe within our own premises, our home first. And this might take anything from 15 minutes to a half hour. But we would make sure that we turn off the power or the lights. Like suppose we have a lamp that's sitting on a bench or near a bed, and when the power goes back on, if that falls from the earthquake, that might cause a fire on your bed. So what we would do is what we normally would do after an earthquake. The first thing we would do is duck and tuck and put pillows over our head and try to be close to a bed so things don't fly on us. And after that, there's going to be shaking again. But it gives you enough time after the quake to get out, and everyone should have an exit plan of getting out of your own home. After that, what you would do is you would check out your own home. You'd make sure that the gas is off if you smell gas, or if you have a gas shutoff valve, it'll automatically turn off. You make sure that things like the water heater is shut off, because that is going to be your source of water after the quake. So if that's leaking or any of the pipes leaking, you want to have that turned off, because that can cause damage. So your home, you make sure that it's safe. You make sure that the people are safe. Your family is out in the middle of the street over here, and that's the first thing that you do. And again, that might take from 15 minutes to a half hour to make sure that your family's safe. Then what you would do, like Smith over here on this side, if that happened to him, he would triage, or he would take care of his own home first. And then he would move on to the neighbors that are closer to him. And then after that, what he would do is he would be meeting everyone over here at evacuation point. This is the pool. This is our first evacuation point. This is for the west side, but it's the same for the east side as well. We meet at the grass line or in front of either the pool or the clubhouse, evacuation point 1. The next thing that we do, though, is before we can get to that, that's our final destination, is we make sure that our friends and family and neighbors are safe. And this is a triaging in this circle that I have for that block leader. And they know basically those neighbors that they have to make sure are pretty safe, and they tell them to evacuate over here at our first evacuation area. And then what they also do is we will issue them a walkie-talkie. This walkie-talkie is owned from the HOA, Homeowners Association, and they're in charge of the equipment for the ERT, Emergency Response Team. And what they do is the block leader will call on the walkie-talkie, turn the thing on, and you just click on the walkie-talkie. You go to like channel 10, or excuse me, channel 11 for the west side. And channel 10 is so that both the east and the west can communicate with each other. But the first thing this block leader is going to do when he makes sure that everyone's safe in his area, he grabs this walkie-talkie on his way or her way over to the area that we're all going to be by the pool, and what they're going to do is talk to us on channel 11 for the west side. When everyone's okay and we meet at our evacuation point, then we can talk on channel 10, and channel 10 will talk to the east side. So that's an in-between channel where you get communication between the east and the west mobile home parks. And then for the east side, it's channel 9. They're in their own loop. They're separated from us, almost a half a mile away from us. And so we got to make sure our area is safe first, and because we're going to be the first responders. There's not going to be a fire department right off because they're going to be trying to triage or make sure their own people are in safety, and the fire station might not even be able to get out of the fire station with their fire trucks. So that's what we do. We have a shed that's out in this area. This is lot 3. This is the west side again. Lot 3 has a shed with supplies. So we will issue several people, several block leaders, keys to the gate of lot 3 and to the shed that's right back here in lot 3. For the east side, they also have a shed, and their shed, they have a different map, but it's like, it would be like up in this corner right here, the west RV storage on the east side. And they have, right around here, they have their own shed, and it's filled with a lot of supplies. We also have several evacuation areas. This is our first evacuation area on the west side, and this again is the pool. But if there was like a lot of rain and they lock the gates, and if there's any danger over here, then we have a secondary. Our secondary is where our emergency gates are. We have an emergency gate over here, and we have the main gate. Now, if the main gate is shut, we have new gates now, and we're not sure if they're going to be using them or not.
What's the date today?
Today's the 9th. Today is November 9th.
Of 2019.
Of 2019.
Okay.
And our secondary area for evacuation would be the bowling alley for us on the west side.
Okay.
Our third place, because we have 4 areas, these are just in case places if we can't evacuate at the first area, and that should be good enough. That's our pool area. But you never know, just in case if there is fire over there and we can't reach it, we have emergency gates over here. And the same thing with the main gate. We haven't been shown how to open the main gate if the power's out yet, because it's brand new and we're not even sure if it's going to be working. But I looked at it, and it looks like there is like a clutch or a gear that you pull out after you undo the lock, and you pull a lever out, and that is supposed to be like a clutch to actually allow you to open the gates.
Okay.
Now, I don't know for sure if it's going to be the same as the old gates. We haven't, again, been shown. So that's what we need to do, is we'll learn that. But what we're going to need, as many people as we possibly can to volunteer. You can be 90, 100 years old, as long as you can walk and hold a walkie-talkie. That's all that we're asking for. We're not asking for everyone to go on meetings every month like we used to. We've had this in place for about 7 or 8 years. And we used to do at least an hour-long meeting every single month. That might have been a little bit of a burnout, but a lot of people love the meetings because we learned. We're all CERT certified. I myself have been CERT certified from the fire department, and we actually had the sheriff's department come into our meetings and CERT certify us, and it took like 7 weeks, 3 hours a meeting to get CERT certified. Community response team. And then there's several places that you can get certified. We can go through that later. We can answer those questions. You can ask me at any time. But what we need is we need at least someone to have a walkie-talkie, be committed enough that if there is a catastrophe, they know what to do, and that is triage your little neighborhood right here, your few blocks that you're in control of, and then bring it all the way over here and have everyone at the center point right over here. What we also need is we need to know if we can get any maybe retired nurses, anyone that has had CPR. These are people that will be so vital to us because we will be on our own. There will be no fire department if there's a catastrophe like a giant earthquake. There will be, if we have a fire, we are the first responders. And that's what we need. We just need to make it as simple as we can. We know that if there's a large catastrophe, we know at that time everyone wants to volunteer. Everyone. That's how people are. But it would be real nice if those people knew what to do. So if we have block leaders that we can train just well enough to know what to do at the time of a catastrophe, it will really help. And so we need traffic control, we need people for that, and that's to open the gates, because if there's a giant fire in here, we might all be blocked in, and that's a catastrophe. We need people to go to and get supplies over here in the shed that we have. We need people to get water, we need people to, we just need people, that's all. Right now, all I have is like 4 or 5 block leaders, and that's maybe. And maybe we won't all be here at the same time. That's only like a perfect scenario, like if it happens at night. But in the daytime, people work, people are out, and they are not around here. These walkie-talkies only go maybe up to 2 to 3 miles. But we have proven it that we can talk from this location on the west side over to the east side without any problem. So each time we have a meeting, we do radio checks. In the past, because we've been doing this for 7 or 8 years, what we've had is we've had drills, and we could do drills with the new people coming in. It's so that you know what to do. It's a lot better to know what to do and be able to save people than not know what to do and panic and be one of the catastrophes. So with all that, please, if all you need to do is just be able to walk and talk and let us know how people are doing. But anything further than that is a plus. We actually have backpacks, like 7 or 8 backpacks that we can issue to people that would be responsible enough. It's not their backpacks, it's on loan. But at least they have all this equipment on them in the backpacks, like a emergency first aid, to helmets, to gloves, to everything that they may need to help people on the way, including themselves and their family first. So to wrap it up, again, please, we need you. Thank you.